Listen, there's something about life that many people don't understand. And because they don't understand it, they waste seasons of their life running from it. I'm talking about loneliness. Now, most of us fear being alone. We think it's a punishment. We think it means something is wrong with us. But hear me carefully. Loneliness is not always your enemy. Sometimes loneliness is the greatest gift God can give you. So let me explain. Loneliness is different from being alone. Being alone is a condition. There's no one else around you. But loneliness, that's a state of the heart. And here's the truth. God often uses seasons of loneliness to prepare you for seasons of purpose. Look, some of the clearest visions I ever received in my life didn't come in the crowd. They came when I was by myself, when I had no one to impress, no one to distract me, no one to pull me in another direction. That's when I could hear the voice of God. Now think about it. When was the last time you slowed down enough to really listen to your own thoughts? Most people can't handle silence, so they keep filling it with noise. Social media, television, people's opinions, but sometimes the silence is not empty, it's full of answers. Listen carefully. You can't discover who you really are if you're always surrounded by others, because other people's voices will drown out your own. That's why loneliness is so important. It forces you to face yourself. It forces you to ask, who am I? What do I want? Why am I here? Let me tell you something. There is a difference between loneliness and isolation. Sometimes God will isolate you, not to hurt you, but to protect you. Because not everyone can handle where you're going. Not everyone can walk with you to your destiny. So He sets you apart, not because He's punishing you, but because He's preparing you. So stop despising loneliness. Look at it differently. Think of loneliness as God clearing the room so He can have a private conversation with you. Now, I know some of you may say, but Dr. Munroe, it hurts. It feels empty. Yes, it does. Growth always hurts. Think about a seed. When a seed is planted, it's buried in darkness. It's alone in the soil. Nobody sees it. Nobody notices it. It looks like nothing is happening. But in that lonely place, the seed is breaking, the seed is growing roots, the seed is preparing for life. Without that loneliness in the soil, it would never become what it was created to be. That's you. You might feel buried right now. You might feel forgotten. But listen, you're not buried to die. You're planted to grow. And that growth requires a season of loneliness. Let me push this further. Some of the greatest leaders in history had lonely seasons. Moses, 40 years in the desert. David alone in the fields with sheep. Jesus, 40 days in the wilderness. Paul in prison. Every time loneliness prepared them for influence. Don't fight it, embrace it. Now here's the danger. If you don't understand the power of loneliness, you'll try to escape it too quickly. You'll run back to unhealthy relationships. You'll cling to people who drain you. You'll surround yourself with noise just so you don't feel the silence. But listen, when you do that, you rob yourself of growth. So here's my advice. The next time you feel lonely, don't rush to fill the space. Sit in it. Ask yourself, what lesson is this season trying to teach me? What strength is being built in me right now? Because trust me, God never wastes a season. Let me be practical. Use your lonely seasons to invest in yourself. Read, pray, write down your vision. Develop your gifts, heal from the pain of your past. Prepare for the future. Because when the right people come, and they will, you'll be ready to give from a place of strength, not emptiness. Listen, loneliness is not punishment, it's preparation. Don't confuse the two. Some of you are asking God for a breakthrough, for success, for influence, and He's saying, I can't give you that yet because you still don't know yourself. You still haven't discovered your voice. You still haven't learned to stand without the crowd. That's why He leaves you in a season of loneliness, because He's building something in you that the spotlight can't. So here's the encouragement. Don't despise the quiet. Don't despise the empty room. Don't despise the nights when no one calls you back. Those moments are holy. Those moments are working in your favor. I want you to remember this. Loneliness is not the absence of people. It's the presence of purpose. And when you finally embrace that truth, you won't fear being alone anymore. You'll see it as a necessary classroom, because in the silence, you find strength. In the solitude, you find vision. And in the loneliness, you finally find yourself. Now listen, loneliness teaches you something that company never will. It teaches you how to be content with yourself. And let me tell you, if you cannot enjoy your own company, you will never be able to truly enjoy anyone else's. Because happiness is not something people give you, it's something you carry inside. So loneliness becomes the testing ground. It asks you, are you whole without applause? Are you secure without a crowd? Can you stand when nobody is clapping? Because if you can, then you are ready for influence. Look, the worst thing in life is not being single. The worst thing in life is being empty and then attaching yourself to somebody else who is also empty. That's how broken marriages are formed. That's how toxic relationships are built. Two empty people trying to fill each other. But loneliness, if you embrace it, protects you from that. It forces you to be filled before you join yourself to someone else. So what do you do in loneliness? Don't waste it. Don't just sit there complaining. Use it. Turn loneliness into solitude. There's a difference. Loneliness feels like a curse, but solitude, that's a choice. That's a decision to grow. Let me give you something practical. In seasons of loneliness, first, you must learn yourself. Write down what you value. Write down what you believe. Write down where you're going. Because if you don't define yourself in solitude, the crowd will define you when they come. Second, develop your gifts. Read, study, build your skill. When nobody is calling your name, that's the perfect time to prepare. David was alone with sheep when he learned to fight lions and bears. And that lonely training ground prepared him for Goliath. Third, build your relationship with God. Listen, if you cannot pray when it's quiet, you will not pray when it's loud. If you cannot hear his whisper when you're alone, you will not recognize his voice when you're surrounded. Loneliness makes your spirit sensitive. It's not punishment, it's intimacy. And let me say this, creativity is born in solitude. Great books, great inventions, great movements, they all started with someone alone in a room. Don't curse the silence. Fill it. Don't run from the stillness. Use it, because the silence you're running from may be the very space God wants to use to birth something the world has never seen before. Now let me balance this. I'm not telling you to isolate yourself forever. No, we need community. We need relationships. But what I am telling you is this: never enter community until you've mastered solitude. Because if you cannot stand strong by yourself, you will fall when others lean on you. So hear me carefully. Loneliness is a season, and like every season, it has a purpose. Winter doesn't last forever, but without winter, the ground can't reset for spring. Loneliness is your winter. It resets you. It clears your soil. It makes you ready for the harvest that's coming. So stop despising it. Stop calling it a curse. Start seeing it for what it really is: a classroom, a mirror, a gym for your soul. Because when the season changes, and it will, you'll look back and say, if I had not been alone, I would not be ready for where I am today. Listen to me. Loneliness is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your strength. It's the place where purpose finds you, where vision awakens in you, and where God whispers your true identity. Don't run from it. Embrace it. Because in the end, loneliness is not the absence of people. It's the presence of purpose. And let me tell you this, when you start to understand that, you'll stop begging people to stay who were never meant to stay. You'll stop chasing friendships that were seasonal. You'll stop holding on to relationships that expired a long time ago. Because you'll realize sometimes God removes people so he can reveal himself. Look, some doors won't open until the room is empty. Some blessings won't come until the crowd is gone. Some lessons can't be taught in public. They have to be taught in private. That's what loneliness does. One day you'll step into the room you were destined for, and when you do, you won't come empty. You'll come prepared. You won't come searching for approval. You'll come knowing who you are. And the world will see not the pain of your loneliness, but the power it produced in you. So stand strong, stay faithful, and remember this truth. Loneliness was never a prison. It was the pathway to purpose, the pathway to clarity, the pathway to destiny. And when you understand that, you'll never fear being alone again.